All right, thank you to all of you who have been watching the Formula One race, an exciting finish, and we are following major breaking news impacting millions across Northern California. I-5 is closed in Natomas because of a fire next to the highway. Highway 80, it's closed near the Carquinez Bridge in Vallejo because of a major fire there. A major wildfire in Sonoma County, forcing thousands out of their homes. Historic winds plus extremely dry fuel triggering the largest PG&E power shutoff in state history. Millions of people in the dark today, and they could be without power for days. The governor declaring a statewide emergency today to get extra help. We have a lot to talk about. Walt Gray along with Brandon Ritterman here.
Yeah, thanks, Walt. As you mentioned, I-5 completely shut down now in Natomas from the 80 transition to 90 north of Del Paso Road because of a fire. Our own Giacomo Luca is out there. And Giacomo, what can you tell us about the progress of this fire?
First name's Gary, and last name is Loesch, L-O-E-S.
Little live interview here.
Fire chief of Sacramento Fire Department.
Okay. Do you have a moment? We're about to break in. We're about to break in live, actually, on the air. I'll ask you a couple questions
Same
again.
questions?
If that's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Hello. Sorry about that, everybody. We have a very active situation right now. Right now, I'm here with Sacramento City's fire chief. We're along I-5 at the crossroads of Interstate 80, completely shut down. Visibility is pretty much a zero if you're coming down the highway. That's why crews have had to shut down the highway. And then, of course, some incredibly active burning right now. Chief, talk to me about what the situation looks like and what folks need to know.
Okay, what we have now is we are very fortunate that none of the fire that you see right now is impinging on any kind of buildings or anything. We've had a few autos that were abandoned on the side of the highway here on 5, about a half a mile from our location, that have unfortunately burned up. Right now, we just have heavy smoke in the area. It's being wind-driven by about 40-mile-an-hour winds that are being pushed by gusts of 60. We have approximately 1 mile stretch of Highway 5 and a half a mile stretch of 80 where they intersect, currently shut off. A lot of the fire is in the median, but there's a lot of wood that supports the guardrails, and that's what's burning right now. What citizens need to know is obviously they have to take precautions if they are out and around in the neighboring areas, that it makes it difficult to see through this smoke. I mean, I have lights on mine and I have to crawl. And also for the respiratory system, they should be wearing some type of mask as you are, or if they don't have that, please stay inside their home. And we're getting a handle on this. We have enough resources here. We've drawn a big box around it, and we're stopping it from further spread towards the city of Sacramento right now. The wind is driving in that direction, but we have a good defensive line built, and we're going to be out here probably for the next 4 or 5 hours mopping this up once we get the fire spread contained, which we're just about at now.
In terms of the time and impact to traffic, 4 to 5 hours possibly?
Yeah, I'm looking at, from my estimation, we have to check every place, as you can see, that's still even burning just slightly. We're going to have to make sure that that's out before we leave here, or else we'll be back in the same situation in night hours. Yeah. So we're looking at about 4 or 5 hours. We'll go as quick as we can, but water is an issue. We have to keep ferrying water into this area. Obviously, we don't have any hydrants up here.
Fortunately, you got crews from pretty much all over the area helping out, right?
Right, yes.
West
Sacramento Fire's here, and then we have West Sac. We have everybody consume this. We have a couple helicopters overhead giving us spot reports. And that's part of the problem here. The fire started in one area, but with this type of wind, we're getting spot fires everywhere. The fire started out up at Advantage. It was actually outside of a industrial structure there, and then it jumped into the median, and now we're chasing it, but we have a good handle on it now.
What's the good news, if we have any?
Well, the good news is nobody's been hurt or injured, and there's no evacuations.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Chief. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Let you get back to work.
Thank you.
And so you all heard it from Sacramento City Fire Chief. Let's walk down here just so you can see exactly what we're seeing right now. This is not something that we'll see very common in the city of Sacramento. Both Interstate 5 in portions as well as I-80 closed down. But look at this active burning that we're seeing in the shrubs, the beautiful shrubs that call home to Sacramento and line our highways, catching on fire. But these winds are so erratic. I'll tell you what, just moments ago, within the last 20 minutes, it was hard just to walk along the highway because the winds were blowing so quickly. But fortunately, there are lots of firefighters here on the scene, and it looks like they're working very diligently, quickly, to get this fire under control. But of course, with all the winds, The big concern right now is whether or not these fires are going to continue to move south with the winds. Back to you all.
Giacomo, good stuff there. The chief said he's keeping it within a box. So obviously the spread of that hopefully won't happen as it heads towards Sacramento. Giacomo, how many times have you been able to walk up and down an interstate like that and it's like abandoned? It's so odd.
It's very few times that I've ever been able to do this. You know, major accidents, but the first time for a fire like this here in Sacramento.
And Giacomo, as you walk down there, I take a look, and it looks like the grass kind of underneath everything is what's burning. So it's not like we have bigger fuels involved. That's got to be giving firefighters a little bit of help. They're not having those big chunky embers flying around down there. Is the fact that this is a grass fire sort of lending them a little bit of support today?
So really, Brandon, what's happened here is all of that brush, it's actually already been taken, everything underneath. But Randy, follow me over here. I'm not going to get too close, but what's actually burning, the most of the smoke right now is coming from the guardrails, right? These big 4x4s that they've got placed in the middle of the intersection, median to, you know, keep folks safe.
Yeah.
Those are burning right now. But the chief, I asked him about that. I said, obviously, this is going to be a concern for Caltrans coming up in the near future once they get this fire a hold. But they said that essentially they're not really worried about that right now. What they're worried about is containing the fire.
Sure.
And that's where they have all their resources. So they're going to let them burn.
Yeah.
And they're going to get a grip on the fire so it doesn't spread anymore.
Yeah, that dry grass being a flash fuel, but obviously touching some other things as well.
Yeah,
Right.
the oleander there. Okay, Giacomo, we will check back. Kind of looks like the apocalypse a little bit. You know, it's abandoned highway and smoking and all that.
And it's becoming more common. It's not the only closure we've got going on there.
Absolutely.